Activate the cave. Welcome to the cave of the dog shark. Oh, all right. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. Bit of a different video this time because I don't really have much to do or talk about or to show you, but I'm going to do it anyway. But what I do have to sort of talk about, and I'm going to, and then I'm going to record it like I'm doing, and then I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel, which is why you're watching it. This is kind of a follow-up to my last video where I talked extensively about suffering from a terrible bout of gas or gear acquisition syndrome, coupled with a rather acute bout of guitar player's remorse, which when I talked about it, if you watched my last video, and I'm sure you probably didn't, but if you did, you will know. But if you don't, I'm going to tell you anyway. Guitar player's remorse is where you had a guitar in the past and you let it go and it went and you don't have it anymore and you're pissed off and you want it again and you must have something and the gas starts kicking and you're like, oh my god, I need gear, I need new stuff, I need another thing, I need something now, I need to replace the thing I lost, I need that hole in my life filling with something, and that thing needs to be a guitar made of wood and metal and things and stuff. Okay, so there you go. That's what I had. That's what my last video was about, and if you didn't watch it, now you know. Good. So now you're up to speed. What am I actually here to talk about today? What I'm here to talk about today is my new guitar. And a little sneak preview there. I'll show you in more detail in a minute. So, yes, just like my last video said, I had a guitar 20-some years ago. It was a Japanese Fender Stratocaster. More specifically, it was what's called an ST67, which was like a late 60s Strat, so it had the big Fender 70s CBS style era headstock, and various other things going on, and so on. And so, you know, some time went by, and I tried to find a new one, and some came up, little ones, odd ones here or there, mostly in other countries. Far too expensive for me to get and bring over here and feel that I'd done the right thing. I'm one of these guys who feels like, you know, I need to spend the right amount of money, not too much. I mean, I'm not a fucking rich man, you know. It's not like money's no object. I'm just gonna throw some fucking beans at this thing and get the thing, and I don't care how much the money thing is. I do care. More importantly, I've got a wife that I have to justify this with, so if I don't get the right deal, you know, she ain't having none of it and I ain't getting none of it, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so there you go. So I was in that predicament where I had to kind of decide what I wanted to do. Do I pursue the precise exact guitar that I had in the past and try and find one of those? And I kind of came to the conclusion that, you know, I couldn't have the exact original one that I'd had back in the day, because that had just disappeared into the ether, quite literally, after being burned alive in a house fire. So I was never going to get the one that I had back in the day. So could I get one that was the exact same model and around about the same time? Yes, I could, but I'd have to pay a shit pile of money, way too much. So I didn't want to do that neither. And so I started to look at compromises. And again, if you watched my last video, you would have seen that I discussed a number of options. There was the Stratocaster Deluxe, which had the headstock, the right size headstock, but then had too many frets and some funky electronics that weren't very traditional and very vintage, and I wasn't quite with that one. There was a more modern Vintera Strats, which Vint era, if you don't know about that, it means vintage era. Vintera. They're very clever at Fender, aren't they, with the wording? Very good. Very intelligent. So yes, and they were okay, you know, they're not so bad. But they're quite new, and they're still quite expensive, and they're not really worth what they're charging for them retail, brand new. And there aren't too many out there on the used market either, and I just kind of felt, you know, maybe we need something just a little bit more affordable to make me feel happy about this. Believe me, right, you know, if I wanted to, yes, I could go and buy a big custom shop fucking thing, but then I'd have to get divorced, and you know, I would lose my job, and I would end up broken in jail, and I'd have to sell all my guitars, and that would be no good to anybody. So the best option for me turned out to be a Mexican made, which there's no fucking shame in buying a Mexican Fender, believe me, right? The Mexican made what's called a 70s classic Strat. It had the big headstock, it had the right number of frets, being 21. I wanted that vintage style Stratocaster with 21 frets, not 22, because that's what they used to be like back in the day. So that's what this had, and it had the, you know, the right electronics and so on. The pickups near, but you know, it looked right, and it looked right. And so I was on the hunt for one, and I had a few sort of bookmarked that I'd seen up for sale, and eventually, you know, I found one that I liked the look of. I did kind of want to get a vintage Olympic white, whatever they call it, Strat like the one I'd had back in the day, and the kind of Hendrixy vibe one. But this one was just beautiful. I mean, when I actually got this thing in hand, turned out it was immaculate. It's a 2015, but it's like brand fucking new. Whoever has had this, I found it it was actually in a store, but advertised on an internet marketplace. But it was in a store in Nottingham, and the guy had it on commission selling for somebody else, and it's in immaculate condition. There's literally not a scratch on this thing. It's like if this was hanging up and they claimed it as brand new, you know, you wouldn't argue with it unless you took a closer look at the serial number and realised that, you know, it was made quite a few years ago. So yeah, 2015, Mexican made Fender 70s classic Stratocaster, that's the precise model name, and it's everything I wanted. There you go, very, very happy. Big 70s Fender headstock, there you go. Wow, boy, look at that, all that fucking extra wood, man, makes for more tone. Happy about that. And we got the maple neck, we got the 21 fret there, and it's got a black body. Now, here's the thing, right? You're looking at this now, the body's all black and all black plastic stuff, you know, the pick guard and the pickup covers and the knobs and the switch tips and the whammy bar tip and everything. It wasn't like that when I got it. All the plastics were white, which is cool, you know. And if you've had a sneaky peek at some of my jamming videos, you might have seen me actually playing this already. Threw out a Deep Purple jam just after I got this, and yes, it has all the white stuff on it, which is cool. I like it. It looked nice, looked great, but I just wanted to do something to it to make it my own, make it different, make it a bit unique, make it just mine, you know. And so yeah, blacked out all of the plastics on it. I was in two minds whether to go with the tortoise shell and white or the black and black and black. And I went black and black and black and black, and I'm very happy I did. So yes, very, very pleased with it. And you know, it's not the guitar I had back in the day, but it's just as fucking nice. And I have to say, right, and I'll argue the toss with anyone who cares to about this, right, that these newer made Mexican Strats or Mexican Fender guitars are of equal or perhaps even better quality than those sort of 90s era Japanese Stratocasters, Fenders, or whatever they made out there. They were making some good shit out there back in the day, but these days, you know, they're going for some silly money, and a modern Mexican Strat or any Fender that comes out of the Mexico factory is up there on quality. This thing is put together beautifully. It's as nicely made as any other guitar I've got. I've got a couple of US Strats up there, I've got some other bits and pieces lying around, and this is as nice, if not nicer, than just about every guitar I've had or have currently. So yeah, very pleased, very happy. I've got a nice guitar to play with amongst the many others that I already possess. I'm very pleased, and I will be abusing this one thoroughly. I think I'm going to have this one for quite a long time, perhaps forever, unless something amazing comes along and perhaps I trade this in. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm really gonna cherish this one. I'm really gonna look after it, and I'm really gonna play it hard and make sure it gets a good beating, which is what every guitar deserves, really, you know. I don't have any problem whatsoever punishing these little girls, because that's what they like. They like to be punished, you know what I'm saying? So without getting too, you know, far down that road of things, I think I'll probably just wrap it up there. I'm just going to have a quick sip of my gin. I'm on the White Russians tonight. Oh, you know, I got my fan on again. I have to apologise every time I do a video for this, right? I've got some fan going on blowing air at me, so I'm not sweating my tits off. Because I like my tits, I want to keep them if I can, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, wrapping up. Thanks for watching, you know. I'm quite pleased with the guitar. I know this is just literally 10 minutes of me just chatting absolute shit. So if you've watched it and you're up to this point, well done. You've fucking done really well. But there it is, look, beautiful Fender Stratocaster. I just like looking at guitars. Look at this one. Look how nice it is. Oh yes. Yes, and there's going to be probably guys out there going, hey, but it's not an American Fender, it's not a custom shop, it needs relicking. I don't care about none of that shit, right? This one's fucking mine, and I like it, and it makes beautiful noises. I've already had this one singing some fabulous tunes through some of my other equipment, amplifiers and pedals and all the things I have over here that do things. So, yeah, you know, it's mine and I like it, so thank you very much. You know, if you want to leave a comment, tell us a story about one of your guitars. You know, maybe you've had gas and gear acquisition syndrome and all that other stuff that I was talking about, and you needed to fill that gap with something, and you found the thing, or you didn't find the thing, or you died from it and now you're back from the dead to tell the story. I don't know. You know, talk to me about whatever you want. I'm a friendly guy. I'll chat it out with you and we'll see what's what. So yeah, you might be able to tell from this video that I've had a couple of White Russians already tonight, pints that is, and we're kind of down that road a little ways already. I'm going to be jamming a little bit shortly and just enjoying my new guitar. Yes, anyway, so there you go. Yeah, subscribe if you haven't, share if you want, comment if you want, say what you like, good or bad. And you know, let's all have a good time, let's all enjoy ourselves. So yes, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Alright, bye.